Hello. Give me a hot second. I'm going to try to get this on a better stand for those of you who are watching. Go ahead and chime in. Let's see. I apologize. I'm coming off of watching a John Mulaney Netflix rewatching Kid Gorgeous. So I was kind of just making fun times. All right, so I'm going to post on the Twitter that we're live because don't we want to know we're live? Tell your friends. I'm gonna roast myself, and I might try to get some audience participation. We shall see. I even have the So yeah, anyway, hey, we got fully funded because of you guys. Thank you. I'm just I'd love to just sing everybody's praises right now. Even as I keep trying to find things to post on Twitter. There we go. We're live now. Yay. Okay. All right, I posted it on Twitter. You literally have popcorn, Wish. Your Wish literally has popcorn because she's a gem. Wish I brought popcorn. Hi, Fox. Boy. All right. So this is how we're going to do this. I have a couple of decks, and by virtue that there are 3 people in the room here, I kind of want to put this up to a vote between 2 decks. So I'm going to, let's see. So we're either going to do your standard Ryder Coleman Waite deck. We got Satan here too. That's brilliant. Yay! Satan's gonna watch me get roasted. And then we're going to get or we'll get my first ever tarot deck. And that is Animals Divine tarot deck. So from a show of hands, who wants to do my first ever tarot deck, and who wants to do the Ryder Coleman Waite? Because I will give you the options. So obviously, yes, the Animals Divine is my first deck. So I have a long, glorious relationship with it. But I also have a long, glorious relationship with the Ryder Coleman Waite because I have that's actually where a huge amount of my training came from, was around the Ryder Coleman Waite, and it tends to be pretty provocative in terms of getting at some subconscious stuff. So yeah, I'll put it up to a vote. Essentially, yeah, if you choose, I'll give a minute, because the next thing I'm going to do is probably figure out what I'm going to read for, what my question to the universe is going to be. So yeah, Right. I'm going to wait for some other people to come on. I'm probably going to retweet on my many accounts. I have so many accounts. Lord. All right. So yes, real quick, I guess, history of my tarot. All right, so Fox says Ryder Coleman, and Wish says Rude Deck. All right. All right. Let's say. Okay, so we already got 2. There's 2 out of 4. Whoever's watching, Satan, what's your vote? I feel like Satan is like the Rude Deck too, but I don't know. Don't know if that's. It just might okay. Animal, yeah, because you're contrary. That makes sense. All right, so well, it looks like Rude Deck wins, which means Ryder Coleman. But for you, Satan, I will draw 1 card for you. That is all right. The 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords basically is a perfect card for Satan. It just means everything's going to shit. That's kind of cool. Yeah, no, basically 7 of Swords, it just means that there's a lot of things happening all at once, and you feel like you're going to spin and drown in it. As you can see, the crane is about to be sucked into a whirlpool full of swords, which is kind of a bad idea, right? But yeah. Anyway, so yes. God. Now I gotta choose what question to ask the universe and in what format. I'm gonna make this kind of a go with the flow type of reading, where I'm going to probably do essentially I'll do a Celtic cross spread for myself, and I'll just hold up each card and talk about the signifiers and what I'm getting from it, for each card that I draw. And then I'm going to, for each card, give everybody an opportunity to make their own comments of what they think it means too, especially I'm sure as each card is pulled, there will be a further and further revelations. So please feel free to join in on the roasting. This is, again, like I said, this is, I guess, recompense for all the times that I've roasted some of you. I am shuffling the cards right now because I'm still thinking of what kind of question I want to ask myself. Anybody got ideas? Maybe I'll pick an idea. Like, part of me is like, I could do like a what's gonna happen for season 3, but that feels like I, open up to spoilers. But other things could be, I don't know, what is going to be my biggest challenge this year, and how I'm going to deal with it. Ooh, that might be a good one. That might provoke some pretty salty content. You guys down with that? If I ask the cards, what's my biggest challenge going to be this year? I'm not ready for that in public. Listen, I haven't even set up anything to get this started. All right. So, question I'm going to ask is what my challenges are going to be this year. So, yeah, you're right, Fox. The fact that I don't want to ask the question is probably the perfect reason why I should ask the question. So I'm going to ask the cards what the biggest challenge is going to be for me this year. And the Celtic Cross should give me some insight into that. So before I start doing the cards, for those of you who need a refresher on Celtic Cross spread, the Celtic Cross spread is set up here, like so. You have, I'm going to try to do this like, because I know it's also flipped, it's a mirror image. So you have the first card, right? That first card is it signifies the querent, the person who's asking the question, and kind of usually gives a quality of where, oh man, I'm definitely off center here. The center card, represents the querent and kind of where they are at in relationship with everything else. And then you have the essentially a card that like goes across, like crosses it, so it looks like a cross, and that is what crosses, or what like essentially indicative of the kind of primary challenge of whatever the querent is asking about. Then you have the first card that's underneath those two crossed cards, and that is what supports. So that's, it gives you an idea of what is supportive of kind of the querent themselves. And maybe it could be a person. I often see people within the card that's usually there. It's usually people, but sometimes it's a quality, like a quality or a skill, or some kind of wisdom or insight or past experience, that kind of thing. And then you have the top card. So the top card is right above the two crossed cards and above that. So it's right here. The top card is what the querent is aspiring towards. Now, this is something that is for this reading would probably indicate, if I'm asking what I want, like if it's a challenge, like what I'm hoping to get out of the challenge, or what I'm hoping happens instead of the challenge. So we'll see what actually turns out. Then you have the card that is right, or that is to the left of, and I know you're seeing it this, but when you see it laid out, it's to the left of that kind of line of cards, and that's to the past. And then so that's kind of immediate past. So the things that have happened in the immediate past related to this challenge usually influences where this challenge is coming from. And then you have the card to the right. And the card to the right is what's going to happen with relationship to this, will be with relationship to this challenge to the right in the near future. And then you have these cards that are you have four cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side. And the first card at the bottom is the internal landscape of the querent in relationship to. So this is kind of the internal mental and emotional, and sometimes spiritual state in relation to the problem or the question. And then you have the one above it is the external landscape. So this is their community, what's happening with their family, their friends, their connections, their work, their job, whatever this challenge that I'm going to be asking about is actually going to reveal about and what it is in relationship to the external. And then you have my favorite card position. That favorite position of mine is what the querent most hopes. It's also what they most fear. It's you both desire, what you most desire and what you most fear. So it is the perfect like shadow reflection card, because usually when you ask a question, there is this thing that you most desire is often what you most fear, and what you most fear is sometimes also what you most desire. And then you have the very top card out of that 4 stack. So you have a cross here, and then you have a stack of 4 up, and the one at the very top is the kind of the outcome. Like if you take into consideration all of these things that are going to happen, kind of what really is going to be coming out of the culmination of all these factors. So that's the Celtic Cross. I will also do some more fun things to play around with that format too. But again, if you have an alternative interpretation, happy to supply. So, all right, so here we go. I'm going to do one more kind of shuffle, and then I'm going to so here it is. Here's the cards. Now I'm going to kind of rest my hand over it and put my intention in question, which is what is going to be my biggest challenge to understand and to realize this year. I think it received it. All right, I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to split this deck in half. And I'm going to choose which column I'm going to get this from. All right, it's this one. All right, so the first is going to be me. So I'm going to just pull this and show it. It's the Hermit. So I guess this is, where I am at right now, which is kind of, it's kind of true, though it's kind of weird. I feel like I've not been very inward. I feel like I've been doing a lot of projecting out of, what essentially what with the I guess with the campaign and with writing and everything like that, I feel like I've been projecting out a lot of stuff, and I've been very, very active, and I have a new job and everything. So it's interesting to have this pop up as a representative of me, but I guess maybe it'll be clear what this means as the cards continue to come up. So yeah, so for your benefit, for everybody's benefit, the very first card representing me is the Hermit. All right, so I'm gonna put that down, and I'm gonna try to actually right beside me kind of keep things in order. All right, so the next card is what challenges me. So this is probably going to be actually with the question that I have, the question being, what is actually my challenge? This is the 9 of Cups. Fuck. You know what this means? The challenge for me is actually accepting that I have an abundance of something. Well, it's also watery. Cups have a watery nature to it. And 9 of Cups also, it talks about generosity. It's it's coming from a place of abundance, and this kind of makes sense. And my teacher always says a lot of things around scarcity mindset, and when you have a scarcity mindset, it's really, really hard to get out of that mindset. So that looks like this is my challenge, is to accept an abundance mindset, or a generous and emotional openness and fulfillment mindset instead of a scarcity mindset. So that's what's crossing me. That is what it's challenging me. So now we have what is going to be supporting me. It's the card at the bottom. That is the Queen of Swords. I love when I get to, so like, when I said before that how the that card at the support, I often see it as wish. Sorry, Wish just in the chat just said me. God damn it, Wish. Yes, that was the first thing that I thought of, so shut up. So look, I'm gonna be clear here. All right. You know how I said that the card at the bottom of that's usually a support card is usually a person. So the Queen of Swords is usually someone who is very ideas oriented. They're very sharp and they're very perceptive. So it's interesting. The Queen of Swords, if it was like something like the Two of Swords, that's more of a quality. That's not a person. I always love when it ends up being the queen or a page or a knight or a king, or even or like the high priestess or anything that kind of has a person in the card, usually represents an actual person. So Wish, to be clear, is my business partner. So that sounds like, and Wish is a lovely person who's also in the chat right now. And I know she's laughing her ass off and eating popcorn, just shoveling popcorn. Like, all right, I can just imagine right now Wish is being very, very happy that the cards decided to be like, see ya. I see ya. All right, I see you, Wish. All right, so that is what supports me. So the next one is what I'm going to be aspiring towards within the context of this challenge. Oh God. I would say 10 of swords. What the hell's with all these swords? Um so 10 of swords really goes into is really kind of about despair and kind of self-defeating thoughts. And if it's something that I'm aspiring to, sorry, Wish just said, so pointy this year. Yes, yes, Wish, very pointy things. Ugh. Um, so usually it's kind of like it's a mental, and it looks like for me, if it's something that I'm aspiring to, I'm not aspiring towards, unless this is trying to put it like I'm aspiring towards like self-sacrifice and self-defeating behaviors, which hopefully that's not what this means. But it could also mean if you can see, you can kind of tell that the person who's lying down and is stabbed in the back is also looking at the horizon. Um, the idea that like even in the midst of mental anguish, there is hope that you can still look out into the horizon and see something beautiful, and know that sometimes the relief can come. So I don't know. It's very interesting that this is in the aspirational position. All right. So this is in the immediate past with regards to kind of the to this challenge that's related to, I guess, this dealing with abundance or dealing with mental anguish or, dealing with, wanting to be internal. I don't know. I don't know what this is talking about. It's so weird to do a public personal reading. It's very exposing. Now I know how you guys feel. All right, so this is the past. Okay, so this is the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles has to do with these kind of this back and forth, this balance of giving and receiving, which kind of makes sense. I mean, this really actually really feels like what just happened with the fundraiser. That there was these kinds of like peaks and valleys between getting the fundraiser caught up and actually getting funds and trying to get over to our various goals. Literally like feeling like I was begging for money constantly, and that feels like not just within the fundraiser itself, but like even within my even within the past few months, right before I got my job, my new job, I was very, very tight on money, and this kind of feels like there was this. This does feel like this was kind of like the swing back and forth. So, yeah, interesting. All right, so this immediate future, Page of Wands. So this indicates that in the very I will receive a message that has to do with, usually Page of Wands has to do with a message that's going to bring additional energy to the work that I'm doing. So that, or someone is going to come and tell me something that is going to give me, a good boost of things, something that hasn't. And I have a sense, like part of me is like thinking, is it something that has already been, like I've already gotten that message, but no, this is the near future. So I'm not sure what that message is or what it could be. But the fact that it's wands have like a fiery connotation, so it usually means like the bringing of energy. And I'm kind of looking in the background here. I love to look at the Rider-Waite is really great because it has a lot of really rich symbolism. The creator of the images, Coleman, she actually really has some really interesting things. And it looks like this is in a desert, right? You have like these like big sand dunes in the back. So this is kind of like, I don't know, it's like additional fire or additional messages and fire in the desert. Even his little thing on top of his cap has it looks like a little flame. Yeah, so it seems like, I don't know, just there's just more things coming. There's more energy coming um towards, I guess, either towards the challenge, or it's going to, continue that challenge. And it's interesting because the challenge itself has cups, and it's a very much a um the cups have a very much a yeah, watery connotation. So I wonder if that is some kind of challenge within itself, is that, the idea of bringing more energy, and I'm trying to be a hermit, but at the same time I should be more generous and be more receptive to things, but I also want to be doing things. God, yeah, no, this definitely sounds like me. Wish said, so for aspirational, sometimes 10 of swords is like a painful but inevitable ending. Looking forward to the closing of this stage of Kalila. Oof. You know, that might be a good point, of really looking forward to an end date of maybe just like, this is or I think more so like looking forward to what the ending actually looks like, since I'm still writing the scripts. Um but it does feel painful, to be fair. This whole thing does feel like a painful process, and kind of just like a struggle bus all the time. Um, but at the same time, it's so worth it. It's so weird. It's such a weird feeling to be a creator. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point, Wish. Anyway, all right. So moving forward, um, uh, the next kind of the next card is going to be my internal landscape. So this will probably give me a little bit more understanding of what I'm actually doing with all this feeling. Oh, justice. It's my internal landscape is justice. Okay. So I'm of two minds of this. And this is, so, again, getting very personal here, but especially with regards to what has happened with, the success of my for this campaign, for the show, but also the success of actually, getting this new job that I have, that's really, really poignant and very, very aligned with all my strengths. At the same time, I've been feeling like that on the one hand, I feel like, yeah, no, I've done the work. Like, this is, justice in some way. This is all the hard work, all the 10 of swords. This is what comes out of all that hard work, is, some kind of justice towards a reward, right? But on the other hand, I still feel like the other shoe might drop. Oh, sorry, I have my alarm going off. Oh, it's my go to bed alarm, but I'm not going to bed. I'm going to finish doing this. um so okay, yeah, justice. So like I feel like internally, yeah, I'm definitely of two minds, which kind of makes sense because there's this balance that justice as a card invokes. um Justice is actually very much I'm trying to remember the other card that a lot of people reference. There's justice, and then there's the wheel. So justice is kind of aligned with the mechanics of the universe, and the wheel is usually like that's just like, shit happens is how the wheel. So it's like it's justice, but without in chaos. And then justice itself, though, has a much more kind of internal code of how things work out. So I feel like in some ways I'm struggling a little bit with, how things are supposed to work out. And, there's probably, yeah, that self-defeating part of you is like, this is all too good to be true. But at the same time, there's a part of me who's like, no, this is, equal pay for equal work type of deal. So I don't know, putting that down. All right. So, oh my God, the next one is going to be the external landscape. Those of you, that's hilarious. Um, Sorry, I'm just thinking of Fox. Fox is about the Justice. I'm thinking about the Justice card in the Wild Unknown deck, which features a black cat and a white cat, which feels very self and shadow too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually as well. I brought it into that card. I also have that deck, the Wild Unknown deck. So yeah, you're right, Fox. But all right, external landscape. This is literally what's happening right now. Everybody's like, "Yay! We did it! It's the what is it? This is the four of wands. It's victorious. We're celebrating. We got like a wonderful. The the campaign done. We're going on to a new season. You got a new job. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Lisette. We're getting this. We're doing this." It's funny that this is in that external, because I know this, but at the same time, there's this. One of the other things that it's almost like it's from a distance, right? It feels like that all this celebration is happening far away from the viewer, and I kind of, that's kind of accurate. I kind of feel like at some level that celebration's happening a little far away from me, though it is, because a lot of you guys are like, also online. It makes sense that this is a distance. There's a distance aspect, but and there have been, people in my life, specifically Danny, who right in part of my life, who've been very, very, supportive, and he yesterday he took me. We went to go to the grocery store to grab some wine and food and some brownies and strawberries, and it was like, it's victory day, it's triumphant day. I can't remember what it was. It's victory day or whatever, after I got the fundraiser done. But at the same time, yeah, like it still feels a little distant. I think I'm struggling with that. Yeah. All right. So who's ready for the next card? Because I'm not. The next card is what I most fear and what I most desire, and what I most desire and what I also most fear. So yeah. All right, let's go. Oh, wait. Fox wants to roast bit. I will hold off. Fox, you are permissed to roast. Please roast. Go for it. I will allow a roast. Let me know if you need like a view or a question or something, a reference to roast. I'm happy to be roasted by all y'all in the comment section of where I'm at. And while Fox finishes their roast, what is it I have here? What is it I have? Oh, it's upside down. Oops. Arms are for hugging, not policing. Yeah. This is I can't remember. Oh, it's a poem from Danny. That's what it is. And then this is, let the beauty you love be what you do. There are 100 ways to kneel and kiss the ground, by Rumi. Right. All right. Sorry. I was doing that. I was just like letting Fox out. Okay. Fox has said a thing. Four of Wands. Is the celebration at a distance because it's physically at a distance, or because you're metaphorically holding at a distance? Remember, we're allowed to have nice things. Yes. Not being able to accept good things. That is exactly what that is. Yes, Wish. Yes, Fox. Yes, I feel like I am having a hard time accepting good things right now. Especially with regards to a shit ton of money, which I decided in preparation for this project, as well as, accepting good things like a great job that I'm well qualified for. It just hasn't quite hit. So yeah, I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with, what are, the methods and ways to fill myself up with the good things that I have received. So maybe this next card is the desire and fear card. So let's go at this. Huh. It's the Eight of Wands. Okay, I got a hit for this. I know what this is about. So Eight of Wands is about a lot of things. The way that I put it to someone was life comes at you fast. And that is what the Eight of Wands kind of represents. It's a lot of things happening and coming at you very quickly. Very like really, they could be good things and they could be bad things. It could be anything, but a lot of things happening very quickly all at once. You can kind of see these are like flying through the air. This is what I most desire. The word I'm getting is a distraction. It feels like all these things coming at me is a distraction. And it's interesting because this is kind of a very different card visually than this card, my actual challenge, right? So, well, this guy's kind of like sitting and like chill, and all these like cups are in a row, and they're nice and stable, and he seems very fulfilled with himself. This is, there's no person, but it's a lot of things happening all at once. There's no kind of, there's a lot of movement. Whereas what the challenge is the challenge is to sit still and accept what's happening. So the idea is that I really, really want a lot of things. I really want a lot of energy and to have energy to do a lot of things. But at the same time, I think there's definitely this fear that all these things coming at me is a distraction to keep me from, accepting what I have right now. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, cards. Roast me good. All right. So this is the outcome. So I kind of get, yes, accepting good things in life, figuring out a way to accept that. But, how do I do that? And will I be able to actually do that? Ha. Two of Swords. God, this doesn't help at all. This Two of Swords, talking about is pointy this year. Things being pointy. Oh God. So Two of Swords is really about making a decision. You're either going to go left or you're going to go right. I'm either going to let myself continue to be distracted and distanced from things, or I'm going to, let myself be filled up. Doesn't tell me how, though, which is, kind of sucks. But it means that I'm still in the out of all of this. It does sound like I'm still in the process. I'm not on one path or another. I'm kind of like right smack dab in the middle of going down one way or another, which is kind of good that I'm doing this reading now, because I can hopefully keep an eye out for changes that are healthier for me. So yeah. If anybody else has a decent outcome, please let me know, because I am going to try to do one more thing before I finish up, which is actually what I like to do is look at the bottom of the deck. And if there's something at the bottom of the deck that's major arcana, so like the moon, the high priestess, justice, like any of those cards, usually there's something indicative. There's more information there. And I'll be completely honest. I kind of snuck a peek at it, or I didn't sneak a peek. Kind of like I saw it. So now everything makes much more sense, and that is the Hanged Man, which means I need to get a different perspective. There is a perspective that I am not getting here right now with regards to all this, that I probably should do something about. And sometimes that means to let go of something. So there's something that I'm holding on to. There's something that I'm holding on to very tightly that is keeping me from getting deeper wisdom. And what is it a story? And by story, I mean, is it like something of like how I talk about how things are supposed to happen. Like, where I said like there's the justice card was in my internal landscape. Is like is there a story there that about how things are supposed to work, that I need to let go of. And in my head I'm hearing, yeah, there's something you gotta let go of about like the story of like who deserves what and when. Um, but I'm scared of that. I'm kind of scared of like letting go of some of that because I feel like if I let go of that story that, by, putting in certain work, you get an equal amount of, reward out of it. I feel like I would turn into someone who would be very entitled. Um, if I am being paid a lot more now. I just ran a fundraiser that raised more than twice it did last year. Um, I'm afraid that I'll turn into like a Scrooge, right? That will be very entitled with especially around money and success and things like that. But there's something about that I need to let go of. And I think it has to do with, is that life comes at you. But no. There's something else. There's a deeper shadow there, I think. Let's see. I'm going to give myself a second. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. One of the stories about the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man is often referred to, or Odin. Sorry, the story of Odin. Odin's often referred to in tarot sometimes, or is used in tarot as the Hanged Man. And I've frequently had to think about this idea of like that, and usually with when it comes to Odin, he's hung from a tree and he loses his eye, but the idea is that he gets wisdom once he's hung. And in some ways, I believe his story. Some people say it's like it's talking about what does Odin let go of? He let goes of an eye in order to get an eye. Oh, so that if this thing is around like giving work and doing work and being able to receive rewards in return, there's a deeper meaning to what that actually does. If my challenge is to accept the things that I've been given, because I think that's where the imbalance lies, is that I accept the things I have to give. I accept the amount of things I have to give, but I don't. I fear the things that I have that are given to me. Oof, this is a hard one. If anybody else is getting hits about this, I'm happy to take those into consideration, because that's something that, it's hard. It's one of those things that like when you do tarot readings, especially for yourself, like there's so many, you have your own biases that come up. You have your own stories that come up. And tarot is great for kind of breaking through some of those assumptions. But yeah. Oh, Fox said, I'm a little behind because my internet cut out for a minute, but to consider, how does the Hangman connect to the Hermit? They feel like each other's foils here. That's a really good point. All right. So for those of you at home, I'm represented as the Hermit. And the Hermit is, someone who stays inside and actually he's represented as an old man. So this is what, represents me as the querent. And then this is, what came up essentially at the end of the deck as something to kind of clarify things. So the Hermit is all about kind of being a recluse and being a light for other people. And in some ways, the Hanged Man is kind of like that. You see the light is in his head, and then this guy's light is like, and this is also very like giving and receptive. So the Hermit is like giving light, whereas the Hanged Man is receiving light. Oof, this is all about receiving stuff. This is all about, yeah, all this is about receiving something and kind of putting yourself out there and, you know, saying yes and ugh, saying yes to things. There's a whole thing that there's a whole other lecture about my shit around saying yes to things. I say yes to too many things, but sometimes, oh well, sorry, I just gotta, like, but are you saying yes to the right things? Maybe that's it. I gotta say yes to the right things. Not be afraid of hanging upside down by my toes. Um, oop, there we go. Yeah, and it's a good point. It's all about, yeah, kind of an internal inspiration. Because a lot of people say, well, the hermit is someone who goes to through internal inspiration. This is the stage before the hermit. Usually, is like you first kind of get your own inspiration. So maybe I need to kind of go back to the beginning, so to speak. And I've been trying to put my light out there, but now it's time to kind of receive some inspiration elsewhere, um, from other sources. All right. So to recap, me, represented by the hermit, I am crossed by 9 of Cups, which is basically, accepting abundance. I'm supported by the Queen of Swords, intellectual, sharp-eyed person, probably Wish. Thanks, Wish. I'm striving towards 10 of Swords, and that's usually, a painful conclusion of a thing, but there is a conclusion. There's light at the end of the tunnel type idea, which might be, Kalila might be, old life or remnants of old life. What's in my past? The 6 of Pentacles, which is, this looks very much along the lines of, actually what just happened. By the way, there's the little scales again. The scales are the same thing. Like the Justice card's also holding that scales. I'll get back to it in a second. Interesting. Yeah. So this is kind of reminiscent of the fundraiser. Then we have Page of Wands, which means in the near future I'm going to receive. Oh, I'm getting a sense that I'm going to receive an offer for another project. But it feels like I'm going to be in a desert. So do I say yes or no? Then I have this is my internal landscape, which is Justice. Again, note the scales showing up again. Internal justice, internal sense of right and wrong, of whether or not things are deserved and equal exchange and all that jazz. This is my external landscape, which is the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is all about celebration. Just mentioned that I feel like those things are at a distance from me, that everybody else is celebrating to an appropriate extent. So then I have my greatest fear, my greatest desire, which is the 8 of Wands. That means a lot of life coming at me fast, a lot of things happening, a lot of good things happening, but at the same time, I'm terrified of all these things happening. And I'm afraid that they're a distraction from what I really need to be doing. Then we have the outcome of all this, which is the 2 of Swords, which means that I am essentially at a crossroads and I'm not sure. And kind of like the same thing of like, how people say justice is blind, which is a horrible ableist assumption, but you can kind of see that, there's that too. So I feel like there's definitely something around justice. It's getting me all tied up. It's getting me all riled up around this. And then, of course, I pulled an extra card, which was the Hanged Man at the end of the deck, which was a clarifying card. And this clarifying card feels like it has to do with, I really need to get some inspiration elsewhere, and I need to change up my narrative and my perspective on things. Can't just do the same old thing or try to address this the same old way. So considering all this, and hey Wish, I might ping you see if you have any further, since you're technically, I guess, if you're gonna claim you're the support in all this, might call you up. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, I don't, this feels like it wasn't as as interesting. It feels like I was much more introspective at all this than the Shadow Work 101, which please feel free to watch Shadow Work 101. It's also within this channel. But let me know what other things you guys want to hear. Do you guys want me to pull another card somewhere? I don't know what I'll pull. What I sure for this. I feel a little like, oh god, I don't want to do anymore. I've been roasted. I feel like I've been laid bare in public. Now you guys know all my shit and shadows, or at least one of them. But yeah, if you have any questions about any of this, or if you have any insights, even if you don't see this until after it finishes ending live, or like we're already 50 minutes in here. Man, this was a long reading. No wonder I feel especially with this to me. If it was I've been able to do like, hour-long readings, or like intuitive, thoughts. I've done multiple readings for other people multiple times in like the span of a couple hours, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm like, I feel tired, but it's fine. But this is yeah, I don't think I'll do this a whole lot. I don't think this was a mistake. This was good. This gave me more information, but it definitely did roast me. So yeah, I don't necessarily see anything in the chat. I don't look anything else. Ooh, so Fox just said your Page of Wands is probably your crossroads. Could be. It could be. That seems like a. I feel like plenty of there are a couple of tricksters that definitely do that kind of crossroads work. Page of Wands is definitely a. No. Hermes is more of a Page of Swords than a Page of Wands. But yeah, pages tend to be a bit like messengers. So I'll probably get some more information. Maybe whoever sends me this message in the near future will give me information that'll be helpful to understand what I'm actually at a crossroads for. So yeah. Thank you to everyone who has contributed so far to, get me to actually roast myself after almost, what was it, like basically over 2 years of doing tarot readings for other people. I finally, publicly decided to do one for myself. So thanks, guys, for, also, contributing to Kalila Stormfire's Economical Magic Services. Again, I guess I have to do the marketing spiel as well. If you haven't contributed yet, or if you've been thinking about contributing, we are 4 days away. It technically ends in the morning. If you want to get your perks, please consider donating and claiming those perks by Valentine's Day. We have some pretty awesome ones, including some limited perks. And yeah, any extra things now over 100% will go towards saving up for a live show. I believe the last I have not looked at. I reached for my phone and I realized, oh, I'm on my computer. I can actually look this up. Right now, at scenespark.com/fund/Kalila Stormfire's Economical Magic Services, the final season. We are at 101%, and we are $97 over our goal. At every $500, I will essentially create a roast. But the roast is shadow roasting a witchy film. So if you're, want to help us get over that, over the next 500, and we do have a stretch goal of 10,000. So that is, again, to fund a witchy and with extra performers, funding actors to come over from all over the states and possibly even outside of the states to come for a live show and perform in Washington, D.C. next year, hopefully early next year, hopefully about this time next year. That would be awesome. So putting that intention out there. Weird. I keep putting things out here, and here I am having a whole tarot reading telling me like, accept the damn things that are offered to you. Come on, Lisette. All right. So I'm going to go give myself some tea and water and a brownie. I feel like I deserve a brownie right now. Feeling very tender. I've been roasted. Very tender. I feel very tenderized. That's one way to put it. But again, thank you to everyone. I'll put the link to the fundraiser down in the show notes. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening in on this live stream. Let me know what you think, and I will see you around the internet. Thank you for your insights for some of you. Thank you for watching.